Hello students, hope you are all safe and sound at your homes. Today we are going to start with chemical control in case of animals from chapter Control and Coordination. Chemical control, as the name suggests, it is through chemicals. And these chemicals are released by special tissues of our body. And these special tissues of our body which release these chemicals are known as glands. You already did that in class 9th. If you remember in lesson tissue, in epithelium, you did that some type of epithelium becomes glandular in nature. Now some of the epithelium tissues, like if one cell becomes secretory in nature and it starts secreting some substance, we call it as a secretory in function, a unicellular gland. Sometimes this layer of epithelium invaginates, it folds inward and then becomes secretory in function. We call it multicellular gland. Right? So this is what you did about glands in your class 9th. Now in your class 10th, we are going to study about different types of glands. We can classify these glands on the basis of their mode of secretion. Now, like endocrine glands, they can secrete their secretions, which we call hormones, directly in blood stream. From where these chemicals or hormones will reach the target organ, where this particular hormone has to act. That is known as target organ. Right? Even hormones have a target. You also have to fix up your target in your life. Exocrine glands are ducted glands. In biology, we use the term duct for a tube. So they secrete their secretion through a tube known as duct. Like in case of salivary glands, like one pair of salivary glands is here, one at the junction of the jaws, one below the tongue. Whenever we think or smell or eat some tasty food, the salivary glands, they pour their secretion in our mouth through a duct which is called salivary duct. So these ducted glands you did in your lesson life process. Liver is a ducted gland, that is exocrine gland. Pancreas is a ducted gland, exocrine gland, and other digestive glands. But in this chapter, our target is to study endocrine glands. Secretions of endocrine glands are called hormones. Now, what are hormones? I just gave the definition of hormone. These are the secretions of endocrine glands. And these are highly specific in their action. These are released in traces, means in very, very minute amount. And these are released by a body only. We are not taking these hormones from outside. These are released in traces. Then these act on the target organs, and these can be made up of peptides, amino acids, or steroid. So this is about the general nature of hormones. Now we come to different glands and their functions. So we'll start from top and then we'll move to the lower parts of the body. At the top, this portion is brain. We have already covered this. Now in the brain, in this brain region, we have three glands. One is hypothalamus, which lies at the base of diencephalon. And then we have pineal gland and we have pituitary gland. Out of these three glands, you need to lay more stress on learning of pituitary gland. But we shall be studying all in detail because sometime, every once a while CBSE does give just one question maybe out of the book, but it is directly related, but still it's beyond the scope of your NCERT book, so we shall be studying that. First of all, we study about hypothalamus. We have also studied this hypothalamus in the beginning portion of this lesson, that is in the parts of brain. We did that hypothalamus act as a thermostat of the body. It controls temperature and it also controls hunger. But in this portion, we are going to be restricted on the endocrine function of hypothalamus. Hypothalamus function is to release the release hormones. So it releases, it secretes release hormone. Now what is function of those release hormones? Those release hormones will go to pituitary and tell her, okay, now you secrete your stimulating hormones. So this is a cycle, right? Hypothalamus is controlling pituitary. Pituitary is controlling rest all the glands of the body. That is why it is the king of the glands. We call it master gland of the body. So hypothalamus, say, it releases a release hormone like thyroid stimulatory hormone release hormone TSH RH, follicle stimulatory hormone RH, that is FSH RH, non-adrenaline corticotropin hormone release hormone. The hormone released by pituitary gets some instructions from the hypothalamus. Then pituitary releases its stimulatory hormone, which stimulate the glands, as I told earlier. So I hope that hypothalamus is clear. Then comes pineal gland. Some, spiritual practitioners, they associate this pineal gland with spiritualism also. That third eye awakening and all that. The pineal gland is the one which is associated with that. Anyways, here, as per your book, will be the pineal gland, which is situated in the brain region. It controls your mood swings, moods, sleep, sexual cycle, etc. Then comes pituitary. Pituitary is a P-shaped, matar ke dane jitne, P-shaped gland, but it is very, very important. As I told you, it's a master gland of the body. Pituitary has 3 lobes, but in NCERT doesn't specify all those lobes. NCERT says that pituitary releases growth hormones. In addition to growth hormones, as I told you earlier, pituitary also releases stimulatory hormones like thyroid stimulatory hormone, follicle stimulatory hormone, then adrenocortico-stimulatory hormone, right? So, we shall be discussing growth hormone in detail. Growth hormone is the one which will cause enlargement of bones and muscles. So it leads to overall growth of the body. Now we shall also be discussing about disorders associated with the pituitary gland. Now suppose before puberty stage, pituitary gland is secreting its hormone, like growth hormone, in more amount, then the person becomes very tall. Some of your friends are extremely tall, very tall. So they have, maybe their pituitary gland is very active. Now, some of your friends may be, very small. Sometimes pituitary gland secretes hormones in less amount, and normally we don't use this in the case of your classmates because it is a disorder. Very rarely, some people, they have got this hyposecretion of pituitary, and then their height, maybe it is 3 feet or 3.5 feet. You must have seen in the movies. But this is the case about if pituitary is secreting the hormone in more amount or less amount before puberty. But what happens after puberty? After puberty also this disorder can arise. Though the long bone this is growing after puberty, then only the lower jaw protrudes out and arms become enormously long. But you have to learn about gigantism. That is, when pituitary is secreting its growth hormone in more amount, person becomes giant-like. Or dwarfism. The person is extremely short. So these are the 2 disorders associated with pituitary gland. Now we come to the neck region. In the neck part we have thyroid. So this thyroid secretes thyroxine hormone. Thyroxine hormone has iodine as one of its component. Now, what is basic function of thyroxine? It controls basal metabolic rate of the body. It controls metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, so as to provide best balance for growth. And if thyroxine is released in less amount in children, then their growth will be stunted. Their mental as well as physical growth will be affected. Right? Now, attached to thyroid at its backside are two pairs of parathyroid. Parathyroid releases parathormone. And thyroid and parathyroid together, they maintain balance of calcium. So one of the hormone of thyroid, it increases calcium in the bone. It takes away calcium from the blood and increases in the bone. Whereas in case of parathormone, does the opposite. It will increase the calcium in the blood. Now, this thyroid, one disorder is associated with it. Sometimes if our diet has less of iodine, like mostly in case of mountain region, soil is deficient in iodine. So in that case, this thyroid gland, it swells up and it protrudes out from the skin, and it hangs like this. So that is known as goiter. So doctors, they advise to take iodized salt so as goiter can be prevented. So in the deficiency of iodine, thyroxine will not be released in sufficient amount. Thyroid gland swells up. Now we come to little lower. Near the heart, there is another gland, that is thymus. This thymus is associated with our immunity to the diseases, because thymus gland releases thymosin, which is concerned with formation of lymphocytes, maturation of lymphocytes. In case of children, thymus is well developed. As age progresses, thymus gland starts shrinking, and then later on it may disappear in old age. That is why old people, they catch infections very fast. Now we come to the lower part, that is kidney. On the kidney, there are triangular glands with yellow color, triangular glands associated at the top of kidney, situated at the top of kidney. And in your NCERT book, they say that adrenal gland secretes adrenaline. Adrenaline is a stress hormone, emergency hormone. Adrenaline is emergency hormone of the body. Now this emergency hormone is released in case of fear, anger, etc. Now what happens when adrenaline is released? Now just imagine your condition when last time you sat on the roller coaster and you were yelling, screaming loud, but still you were enjoying because there was adrenaline rush in the body. Your heartbeat increased a lot, your sweat glands become active, then your rate of breathing increases. Now in case of fear also, this hormone is released. Suppose a cat is being chased by a dog. Its adrenaline will be released from adrenal gland. That is why more blood will reach to the skeletal muscles and heart muscles, as well as to the muscles of diaphragm and ribs, so that rate of respiration increases, rate of heartbeat increases, so that more blood can be sent to the skeletal muscles, for use for running. Now, less blood will reach to skin and digestive system. In our body, there is a wonderful mechanism. Our blood can bypass some portions. Like in case in big cities, there is a highway which, if you are going from one city to another city and in between there is some city which is very crowded, then you do not enter that city, you just go by the bypass road. Now, so only that much of blood will go to skin or digestive system which is required for the maintenance. The rest of the blood, more blood will rush to the skeletal muscles. Now, this happens due to constriction of arterioles. right? This is about adrenaline hormone. Now we come to pancreas. Pancreas is very, very important for you. It is a mixocrine or heterocrine gland. It is a mixocrine or heterocrine gland. Some part of it is exocrine. You have done that in lesson life process, and which release digestive juice, that is pancreatic juice, and rest of the part is endocrine. There are two types of cells, alpha cells and beta cells of Langerhans. Beta cells will release insulin. Now what is the function of insulin? Now as soon as we eat food, the blood glucose level starts rising. Insulin will increase, will convert this glucose to glycogen. This glycogen is later stored in liver or muscles. This glycogen is later stored in liver or muscles, right? And there is another hormone, antagonistic hormone released by pancreas, that is glucagon. This glucagon will convert glycogen to glucose, ulta. Glycogen to glucose. So, both these hormones, that is insulin and glucagon, maintain sugar level in our blood so that it doesn't rise. But in case of some people, this pancreas does not release sufficient insulin, or it does not release insulin at all. In that case, blood glucose level rises up because there is no hormone to convert glucose to glycogen. So that condition is known as diabetes mellitus. So here doctor will advise the person who is having this type of diabetes mellitus to intake less sugar or no sugar at all, and then doctor advises the person to administer insulin before meals so that soon after meals the glucose does not rise up. Now we come to next hormone, which is associated with our reproductive organs, which is ovary in case of females and testis in case of males. So these are ovary and testis. These also are performing dual function. One is formation of gametes, another part is endocrine in nature, so it releases hormones. In case of females, we have estrogen, which is secreted by ovarian cells, and we have progesterone, which is secreted by corpus luteum. Now what is this corpus luteum? In ovary there are thousands of Graafian follicles which have ovum in the center, and around that there are lot many cells, and together constitute Graafian follicle. When Graafian follicle has released its ovum, that is ovulation has already taken place, remaining cells are called corpus luteum. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which is playing a role in maintaining lining of the uterus. And estrogen is responsible for enlargement of breast, for maintaining the secondary sexual characters in case of females, that is round contour and that high pitch voice. Now we come to testis. Testis releases gametes and testosterone. This testosterone is responsible for maintaining the reproductive system of females, as well as for maintaining secondary sexual characters, that is formation of beard, mustache, and then here on legs and arms, and low pitch voice, broad shoulders in case of males. So this is about our endocrine system. Now, is there any control over these hormones? Yes, definitely. There is control over these hormones. That system is known as, that mechanism is known as feedback mechanism. That system is feedback mechanism. Suppose sugar level in our blood decreases. Now, our brain cells will get a message that sugar level is low in our blood. So, brain will not give direction to pituitary to release its pancreas, that stimulatory hormone. So, then insulin will not be released, and if blood sugar level rises, brain will detect it. There are detectors, there are sensors in our body which will detect, and then brain will send message to pancreas to release its insulin. So by this mechanism, timing as well as amount of hormone is controlled. So the mechanism by which timing and amount of hormone released is controlled in our body is known as feedback mechanism. So children, that's all about endocrine part. So in the next video, I shall be teaching the same from your NCERT book once again, as well as I'll come up with the control and coordination in plants. Till then, happy learning and enjoy. Play the video again to understand more and deep, and then learn from your NCERT book.